up? I was gonna see if I could set my phone somewhere, but I don't have anywhere to set it up and be directly right here in the sun, which is what I like to do, be in the sun. I'm literally not even gonna be on here long. I did nothing to my hair today, so it is literally in its all natural states. But what's up? What's up? Hey, happy Sunday. We give grace and thanks. Glory be unto to God. Okay. Um every time I say now, it, like a little bell goes off in my head. You're not supposed to be saying and yeah. But what's up? I got a few minutes before I make dinner for me and my baby. And I always have so many things that I want to talk about. In my description, I just put the word maid, which is in reference to the movie Maid on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix because it came out, it was like 2021. I wanted to talk about that. It's a limited series. I was doing research on it the other day. Yo, I keep seeing black squirrels. And I'm gonna look this up. It has to mean something. That's so funny. I got distracted. Squirrel. um, I wanted to talk about The Maid, the limited series on Netflix, because a few weeks ago, I don't know why that show came into my head. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm this lady. I'm this lady from the Maid series. When I originally watched Maid on Netflix, I related to the relationship that she had with her daughter and the bond that she had with her daughter. I didn't relate to the abuse and the homelessness and the domestic violence and the emotional abuse and all the stuff that she was dealing with from her husband. I didn't relate to any of that. And it didn't even dawn on me that I was going through any of that stuff. It's so funny that the sun went out as soon as I went live. It's like going down. What's up? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Keith. Allow yourself to realize that only peace can follow now. That's a fact. Thank you for that affirmation, because I am walking my path of peace. And it's funny, side note, I was at the library the other day and there's this piece, a puzzle piece that people, like the community, put together, and it says persistent and peace. And I was staring at it. Something just told me to stop and stare at it. And I met this amazing lady that works at the library. She has to take a picture of it, of me in front of it, and then they posted it, and I got a lot of interesting conversation sparked because of that. So I was like, wow, everything happens for a reason. But anywho, I wanted to talk about The Maid because, yeah, I was relating to the toxicity of the relationship that she had with the mom in the movie or in the limited series, and how she yearned for a relationship with her mom. She wanted her mom to be proud of her. She wanted to inspire her mom to change, to overcome her battles and her addictions, and be the example for her mom and show her mom that, hey, I'm an extension of you and I am a better version of you, and wanted to build a relationship with her mom and wanted her to be an awesome mother and an awesome grandmother. So when I originally watched Maid on Netflix, that's what I took from it. A few weeks ago, I must have come across something I think I came across something on social media from Maid where she's sitting in, I think she went to AA or NA, one of those. And she's reading the letter that she wrote to her future self about when she gets to Montana. And as she was reading the letter, when I watched this, I started crying. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to rewatch this series because it started triggering all those memories of her being homeless, of her escaping in the middle of the night from her abusive relationship, of her spouse having addictions that she was trying to help him overcome, of her wanting to be a passionate writer and wanting him, sharing her writings with him, and how he would belittle her and say nobody wants to read anything that you write, you're not talented. I started triggering all this stuff, so I was crying, and I'm like, wow, like I really related to that series. But now I need to go back and watch it because I'm literally living that out in my own way, in my own terms. And the series is based on a true story, a real lady named Stephanie that they made this series to share and tell her story. And I'm like, this is my life now. And I was going through it at the time in 2021. I just didn't know the depths of how much I related to this lady and the things that she's going through. Now, a lot of things are similar, and there's a few things that are not. But I'll elaborate a little bit on those. But let me see what you said, Keith. I said Sarah, and your name is Soraya. My bad. Hi, Soraya. Keith, you said, know deeply that after this healing, only peace can follow always. Facts, thank you for speaking that over my life today. Thank you for speaking that into existence. I really appreciate that. You said, may we just automatically and naturally turn our negative patterns into our keys to our greatest future with every healing breath. Yes, hi, cars only. Hello, everyone said hi. I'm a survivor with healing breath. Hi, dear, is true. What's true? Elaborate. So, what I related to everything in Maid. I was looking it up because I was trying to watch it when I was at the library last week, and I couldn't watch it. I'm like, I'm about to sit here and rewatch it, and here where I'm at, I can't. I don't even really sit and watch TV, but I just don't have access. So I was trying to rewatch it at the library, and I wasn't able to watch it, but I was able to read each summary of each episode. And something that really stood out to me is that in the series, in the movies, and in her life, she escaped her abusive relationship, but there was a time and a period where she had to go back and live with the husband, and he absolutely made her life hell. And I'm like, there was so many times where I thought about going back, and I remember with my friend that I'm staying with, that I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision. I was just really stuck in a state of confusion. And then everything that I was trying to make happen for me and my daughter was turning out just wasn't manifesting. There was a plot twist, still worked out for us, and it's still working out, but just not in the way that I was trying to make it work out. So I was like, Dad, maybe I should go back to this house. I don't want to go back. I'm about to, basically homeless, and I can't stay with you forever, and this is the first time in my life that I've ever went through something to this. I was gonna say standard, but it's not even a standard. I just never went through anything where it's taken me this long to get back on my feet. So, and then it's been 10 times harder with my daughter, and I do everything with my daughter. So I was like, wow, here I am 10 months later, and I'm so strong that I didn't have to go back, or God has allowed my situation to play out to where I didn't have to go back and escape for the second time, because that's what happened to her in the show. She went back and she dealt with a whole bunch of stuff, but look, she had to go back to learn some other lessons about her father and about her. So all her stuff was intertwined with like her parents. Like my father was never in my life, but she had to go back and live there with the husband and then her father, and like learn a lot of lessons there. When I was reading that, so I was like, oh, okay, this is why I did this is why God spared me from one going to a shelter, because she ended up going to a shelter, a lot of stuff. And God spared me from having to go to a shelter, and God spared me from having to go back to that house. But I just thought a lot of stuff in that show was very relatable to me, as you know, I've been wanting to pursue my career as a speaker, as an orator. And this person has been very, like, nobody wants to hear you talk. Oh, your voice is annoying, and I wish you would shut up. And so when I'm looking at her stuff is very similar to mine. Like, she was a writer, and this person said nobody wants to read what you want to see and do what you want to do. And then he went out of the husband went out of the way to try to act like he's this hands-on dad, and took her to court and tried to take custody, try to take her kid away from her. And in the series, he was successful of doing that. Mine's is total opposite, of where I went to court to get a restraining order so that I could be able to run away and them not know where we are, and all my stuff worked out. The only thing that didn't work out for me at the time, that I thought didn't work out, but actually worked out in the way that it was supposed to, was I tried to get an extension on the restraining order. And because I had already got away and they didn't know where we were, the judge wouldn't give me an extended restraining order. And at the time I was pissed. I was like, what do you mean? Like, these people are trying to kill me and my daughter. Like, I was trying to get an extra year extended. And the way that I was able to cope with that, I was like, you know what? The restraining order served its purpose, because I didn't want to get the restraining order. Ironically, his mom is the one who told me to get a restraining order against him because of the abuse that she went through with his dad. And she's like, he's just like his dad, that they have this weird relationship. But the restraining order prevented him from coming to his mom's house. And then it allowed me to escape his mom's house. So actually, I do relate to the lady in the movie Maid, because I just said she had to go back to the house and escape 2 times. I had to escape 2 times, but my 2 times is I escaped in the middle of the night from the house that I was trying to make a home. I escaped from there, and instead of going back to that house, I went to his mother's house for 6 weeks. And then I had to end up escaping his mom and his dad and his brother. So I did escape 2 times. So yeah, this movie, this limited series, that's based on a true story. I hope to meet that lady, Stephanie, who wrote the movie, who wrote the Maid series, and was able to get a deal with Netflix to play that out. I have to get her books, because just rethinking about Maid, I'm like, wow, this limited series, I keep saying movie, this limited series describes my life from 2024 to present. And I have a very inkling that God is moving me and my daughter to Texas. I don't know why, but it's very prominent. It's so prominent that we're moving. Before, I was just very sure we were moving, but now it's to Texas for some reason. I don't know what God has for us over in Texas. I have no clue, because Texas was never on my radar. I just know that we're moving. I just know that before I move, 2 major things are going to happen to me here in my hometown before I move. And it's literally just any day that these things are going to manifest. And so what I've been just doing is journaling a lot more of what I'm going to do with the two blessings that God is going to bless me with, me and my daughter. And that's going to allow me to bless other people, these people I've met along in my life. I have a list called my Lifeline list. And ironically, it's all strangers on there. It's no family. It's nobody I really considered a friend. It's all strangers that I'm going to be able to bless through the blessings that God has in store for me and my daughter. So I have a lot of things that I need to do when I receive these blessings, and I have a lot of things that I have to do here in my hometown before I leave and move away from here for good and never come back. So I just like, I need to really rewatch Maid because I cried. It's a really good series if you've never watched it. If you went through any kind of trauma, abuse, domestic violence, homelessness, if you had to have any kind of way to pull yourself up with your own bootstraps and save yourself from turmoil, stress, things that have tried to kill you, I'm telling you, watch that series Maid. I hope that it's still on Netflix. When I was just researching it at the library, it was showing that it was like on Hulu and all those other apps. Like, I don't have any of that, so I watched it on Netflix. And I really want to rewatch it, but life is just not allowing me to rewatch it. So if you have time, watch it. It's such a good series. It's based on a true story. I am very nonfiction. I love things that are based on true stories, things that show people's triumph and their strength and how they went from nothing to something, how they survived through some shit that tried to kill them. Like, I'm all about that. So it's a true story. It's an amazing limited series, especially if you're a mom that had to push through for not only for yourself but for your kids. I'm telling you, really watch that series. Hi, Andy. I'm doing actually really amazing today. It's Sunday. I had a chill day. The sun was just out, so I was just soaking in the sun before I got on live. And then as soon as I got on live, the sun is going down now, and I'm going to have to end my live in a couple minutes because I need to go cook dinner for me and my baby. But we're just outside. It's a nice breeze. How are you doing today? It's a nice breeze, and I'm always just living in my future mentally. It's so prominent in my head of where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be living my life. So I just practice that mentally. I don't have really anyone to talk about where I'm going because you know what happened is last year with the person I thought I would be spending my life with, I was elaborating to him about these things that are gonna happen, and then I got labeled grandiose, and you know that word has absolutely changed my life. Not for the visions, because the visions and the manifestations that I know are gonna happen literally came directly for God. God told me, God showed me. And so I have this whole thing that I've been saying since last year, which is God is going to put me on display, because the amount of people who have tried to tell me, one, that I'm crazy, two, that the things that I want and desire in my dreams will never happen. I will never be able to manifest them, especially from this man who I manifested mad stuff for, mad things, everything that he wanted, I manifested. Just like my trailer is sitting there being used as a storage unit. Side note, let me answer your question, Andy. Yes, I did. Thank you for referring that song to me, because I listen to it quite often now. And it really is very it has a very calming demeanor over it. It's very soulful, it's relaxing, and it makes me think of my daughter, of just like pushing through. It makes me think of peace. My love? Okay, I couldn't see you for a second. It makes me think of peace. And it makes me just think of my situation, of what I've been going through, of like, screw everybody, like focus on yourself, where your energy goes. Where your focus goes, energy flows. So thank you for referring for that song. And actually, I haven't listened to it this week. I was listening to it weekly, so I'm gonna listen to it again tonight. So thank you. If you have any other referrals, please shout them out. I'm making a playlist. I'm making a playlist. Thank you, Benjamin, for the compliment. You think so? You know what? Is last year this man was poisoning me, and this eye was like closed, and it's still like when I can see it. Still, when I it hasn't lifted all the way, all the way up. Thank you, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that, and thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. Um, Oh, so I'm making a playlist. So send me some recommendations. But right now, currently, last year I was making a crazy playlist. And right now I'm currently making, really haven't known a name to give my playlist. But my playlist resides of a bunch of songs for when I win, for when I really win, when God puts me on display and I get those W's that just shuts everybody up that try to tell me that I'm crazy and these things are never going to happen and that I'm grandiose and I'm never going to manifest any of the things that I've been saying, plus more. It's just like my shit on you list, I guess. I don't know, but right now I'm really prominently listening to DJ Chose. Are y'all familiar with him? DJ Chose. And my two favorite songs, well, three, because three is my number. My three favorite songs by him, if you don't know, go listen to them. If anybody ever broke your heart, if anybody ever said you're not going to amount to nothing, if anybody ever tried to treat you like you are the third wheel, I said will, the third wheel, why can't I talk? Basically, if anybody tries to treat you like a reject, and try to act like you're nothing, his songs, they just speak to me, and I'm like, yeah, these are the songs that the top 3 songs that are on my playlist. I'm gonna think of a really good name to name this playlist. I said shit on you, but I'll think of something else, something more creative. But the 3 songs are Gotta Watch, Need Nobody Back, and The Price Went Up. Go listen to those songs if you're going through something, if you had heartbreak, if you've had somebody try to manipulate you, play with your head, play with your heart, and shit on you and try to act like you ain't shit when you are the shits. Go listen to those songs. So yeah, if you got any other recommendations, share them with me. Oh, my book. This is my book. This is my book of the month that I'm reading. It's The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Kaur. It's my book for October. I said I would share that the other day. And I'm also still reading The Body Keeps the Score. I have not finished that book. It's heavy. But it's for anybody that's had trauma or abuse or neglect, and how it stores in your body and it shows up in all these different ways, and it teaches you how to heal and let go and, heal those things from the inside out. So those are my books. If you're reading anything good this month, please share them with me. I told you how to find me. When are you going live so I can give you a playlist? What do you mean? You told me how to find you? Refresh my memory, because I don't know what you're talking about. Or I don't recall. When are you going live so I can give you a playlist? I am live right now. I go live every day, at least once a day. Tomorrow the week starts again. So what I've been doing is I've been going live at 2 o'clock. I usually go live from 2 to 3 while I'm sitting outside of the library waiting to get my daughter from school. So during the week, usually, sometimes I go live at 1 o'clock. It just depends on how my day goes. It really just depends on my day. But if I had to clock it for you, I would say 2 o'clock. You got to create it. All right, create it. Share it with me. I'm excited to hear. Um, yeah, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta go make dinner. But yeah, I go live every single day, at least once a day. I don't have a set time, but during the week, that is practically my set time, 2 o'clock. Sometimes 1 o'clock, depending on how it goes. And then sometimes I try to go live early. But I was just testing it. I'm always in test mode. And like during the week, I don't, the engagement is just like most people are at work or at school. So, um, but I just show up here to be consistent for myself. The other thing I was gonna say, because I was talking about how my clothes are in that trailer that is being used as a storage unit. Funny thing, the other day I was going through my journal from last year, and I came across a page of where I was keeping track of things that No Name said to me, and there were so many things that I was like, yeah, I'm so glad I left. I ran away from there and I never went back. And one of the things that stuck out the most is he had told me, this is not a home, this is not a house, this is a storage unit. And so I'm laughing now because I'm like, the main person who told me that I can't manifest anything, I manifested that trailer that he said that he wanted to have a fleet of food trailers. And I got this food trailer that sat for 4 years. He never did anything with it. And now, for the whole year, it's been used as a storage unit for my clothes and my daughter's stuff. So I go there sporadically and try to get little things out of it here and there. And I need to just find time to really clean it out so I have no reason to go back on that street or to that house at all. But I'm laughing because I'm like, I really was trying to make a house into a home that was never gonna turn or manifest into those things. But when I read that, I was laughing because all the arguments I had with this person was all about cleaning up this house, because it was like living with a hoarder. Like I don't live in mess and dysfunction. And something he would always tell me is, I operate well in this. I operate well in organized chaos. And I was always trying to organize his chaos, and I always felt chaotic. I always felt stressed. I always felt like dysfunction. And so I spent all my time in that house cleaning and throwing away stuff that wasn't mine and trying to organize spaces and places where I couldn't fit anything in, and he would just come in and destroy it and make it. It was a mess. Like, if you ever dealt with hoarders, then you know. And I remember particularly there was the back room that was an extra room, but it was the biggest room in the house. And I tried to make that space an office. Then I tried to make it a content room. And then I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm trying to make it a bedroom so we could fuck. Like, and nothing I tried to do worked. And so I remember the last argument I had about that room, like, oh, you're not having sex with me. Like, and I keep trying to make this room into a bedroom, especially because like the room that we were sharing that was our bedroom it was all of us sleeping in there, me, him, and my daughter. And I'm like, this needs to convert and become her room. And we need to make this room, like, there's no time now. We need to make it into a bedroom. And he was just like, we're not doing this. You keep trying to fix everything up in this house. It's a fucking storage unit. So like reading that, and now the trailer being a storage unit is now funny. Like, life is just funny. That's my quote. Life is funny, but God is funnier. And I need to have some time where I could write, because thinking about the Maid, I'm like, I have so many talents and I'm such a good writer. I practice writing poetry a lot. But I need to sit down and like write my life and like all this shit that I went through. And I have written a good amount, but it's just me of keeping score and like me keeping track of the shit I said that's gonna happen. But I really need to write down all the stuff that I went through so that I can display it and it can become a movie or a documentary or a docuseries or a limited edition, just like how this show The Maid inspired me, and I related to it when I watched it in one way. And then now thinking about it, just seeing that clip, I'm like, this entire thing is me. And I didn't even know it. I didn't even know that my life would play out like this show that inspired me and really like touched my heart and made me cry and made me think about stuff with my daughter and things with my mom. It didn't make me think about anything with this man, or it didn't make me think that I would be homeless, or that I'd be restarting my life over, or that I'd be living with a stranger. Like all the stuff that that lady went through has currently been my life all 2025. So I'm like, yeah, I need to document all my stuff because what I went through is going to inspire somebody else. And like that show, The Maid on Netflix, was number 4 watch, and at the top of the whatever the Netflix thing for like a year or two. So always the moral of the story is like, whatever you're going through, document it, share it, tell your story. Don't be afraid. Even when you're going through it, don't wait till after you get through it. When you're going through it, because we have social media, share that shit, yo. Share it, because what you're going through is never for you, it's for someone else. Because what you're going through, other people are going through. And the way that you conquer it, the way that you overcome it, the way that you push through your strength, all that stuff solidifies that somebody else can do it. So I don't know. I probably when I get to a later time in my life, I'll be able to sit and rewatch The Maid and really cry, really bawl my eyes out, because I'm like, wow, I am the fucking maid. I'm not cleaning houses for a living to survive. My survival has been a lot different, but I was so inspired by like watching that. And so I can't wait to be able to like really share my story, or get opportunities where somebody else can act out what I've just went through, suffered through, survived through. And like I always tell you, that nothing you suffered through and survived through goes wasted. It will always be used towards your purpose. And your purpose is to position you into your life, into your birthright, which is abundance, prosperity, and a life of luxury. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. I went live today. This was my accountability. This was my consistency. Thanks for everybody that checked in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the referrals. Thank you for the engagement. I'm going to go in and make dinner for me and my baby. And then bath time, bedtime, because tomorrow's Monday. Back to school for her. Back to the library for me. And I gotta get this out of my head, out of my conversation. With that being said, let me leave you with my 3 heartfelt messages that are near and dear to my heart, that come directly from my life, and I'd like to share with you in hopes that it inspires you, it provokes thought, and it motivates you to take action in your life and in your future. So with that being said, I have to word that better. With that being said, number 1, don't let anybody label you, including yourself, okay? Those who try to label you want you to live in lack. And you were not born to live in lack. Those that try to label you is because they see something in you that they don't want you to see in yourself, which is usually your gift. And they want you to live and lead with the label, so that you will live a life of lack. You will live in limitations. And you were born to live a life of access and options, okay? Endless access and options. Number 2, don't ever let anybody put you in a box. Those who try to put you in a box is simply because they cannot get out of theirs. And if you allow anybody to put you in a box, they will then try to put you in a ditch. Ask me how I know. And 3, coming from Mrs. Turn Your Life Into a Lifestyle, don't forget to turn your life into a lifestyle. And the way that you do that is simply by taking your life into your own hands and participating in your own rescue and saving yourself, because absolutely, positively, nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself. And if you take the time to tap into yourself more and out of the world less, you in return will save yourself from the consequence of living the life that your parents want you to live for you, the life that your parents want you to live, the life that society tries to create for you to live in, and the life that the school systems and the job systems try to mold for you to live within. And you were not born to simply work a job, pay bills, and die. No, sir. No, ma'am. You were born to live in your purpose, a life of purpose. And you were born to live your birthright, which is abundance, prosperity, and a life of luxury. And the way to live in that birthright is to figure out what your purpose is. And the way that you figure out what your purpose is by figuring out what problem you were born to solve. Because we were all born to solve a problem and make the world better while we're here, and most importantly, when we're not, aka your legacy. So the second that you figure out what problem you were born to solve, you will automatically live in your purpose, and that abundance, that prosperity, and that life of luxury will automatically attract and flow to you. So that's how you do it. So I gotta go. I hope that you have an amazing Sunday. I hope that you don't forget to thank God for whatever you ate and drank today, for waking you up for another day. I hope that you don't forget to pray. I hope that you don't forget to put yourself first. And don't ever forget that you are both a species, so start acting like it.